and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. The place for the realest conversations.
I appreciate United Garden Homes for stopping through with a check for $2,000.
Yes.
Some people came through anonymously.
Yes.
Dropped off money. The family has received those funds. And whatever you can do, if everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we stay in our cell. We get fed in our cell. We don't come out our cell at all. And that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy LaMarr on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy LaMarr?
Hey, what's going on, Tori? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. I hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Big up to you both. Thank you so much. Tori, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering,
awesome.
Where's Tori? Like,
I wanted to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cup. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Now, live from the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Wavy boy, go crazy.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Low, the truth. From 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Low from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Low Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And nothing but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How y'all doing out there in Radio Land? How y'all doing in the chat? We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Thank you for joining me this Thursday, March 5th, 2026. Truth Nation, we got so much to cover on this show, and we got guests. We got guests at 2, in the second hour and in the third hour today. So look, I'm going to get right into it. There's a situation that's unfolding at the White House with Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. She's stepping down at the end of the month. Donald Trump said that she will be stepping down and being replaced by Senator Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma. He's going to replace her. A representative from Oklahoma will replace her. There's a lot going on in this situation because it may allegedly have something to do with an affair. Well, if you're watching this, we broadcast live. We got video on this situation. Let's listen.
So, Secretary Noem, at any time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
and
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
So reclaiming
and
my
is
time,
an advisor
Secretary, it is
and has
okay for
no,
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be
question.
making any
It is
decisions.
okay for you to
has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
Be making
But it is
decisions
also
and
a
putting
real
up your
question.
position. So what I would say
And
to
you should be able to
is
answer
that
the question.
what we do at the Department of Homeland
Clearly,
Security every single
and without
day,
any hesitation,
every single day is to protect
if
this
someone
country
is
and
asking
to make
if
decisions.
you or any federal official is sleeping with their subordinate, that should
I
be
have-
the easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
Is garbage?
Because it is not about
It is
your sex
offensive
life.
that you have brought
It is
that up.
about your
So
judgment.
that kind of garbage
It is
has
about
been refuted
reclaiming
for
my
years,
time so
and
that
you
I
need
can
to
hear myself.
recognize-
Time belongs to the gentlelady from California, but it'd be nice if you would let her respond.
I will. I want to let you know it is about your judgment and decision-making. It is about the 260,000 employees that work under you that want to make sure that you are giving information and making decisions clearly. It is about conflict of interest. It is about a national security risk. Department of Homeland Security was created right after 9/11 to protect the homeland. And DHS has circulated an internal bulletin to law enforcement partners warning that the conflict of the war we're in could inspire lone actors or small-scale cyber activity inside the United States, according to a memo obtained by ABC News. So American lives are at risk. The people who work for you are at risk.
Did she ever answer the question, Andrew? That's a yes or no. Did you sleep with the mailman? No, I didn't. I don't go into nothing else. I ain't got nothing else to say. I didn't sleep. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Like Shaggy, it wasn't me. Now, Andrew, we've been talking about this before we got on the show today. A lot of people around GKB, this is buzzing news right now. What's your take on this?
Tori, look, when you're the ICE director, when you're the person who's in charge of Homeland Security, you can't be making mistakes like this. And we talked about the jobs most likely to cheat on their spouse.
We did have that conversation.
Politics was one of them.
Politics was one of them. We always ahead of this. We came up with the jobs, the top 10 jobs that you got to kind of keep your head on a swivel.
Her husband did not keep his head on a swivel.
Her husband, I guess when you snooze, you lose.
I think there's a lot of snoozing, Tori.
Well, they could have took a nap. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, allegedly, she's been sleeping around. Many times when we talk about these, we wasn't there. And when they get in these committee meetings, especially being over Homeland Security, they got to ask about this because was you doing it on work hours? Was you doing this during work hours? Was this happening when you supposed to be looking out for terrorists?
On the government dime.
That's all I'm saying. So she got offended a little bit. A lot of these depositions are going crazy. We just recently had a few depositions that I've been talking about on the show, but here we go again. Kristi Noem couldn't answer a simple question. Were you ever having sex with anybody while on the job? And she went into this whole rant. Soon as they don't say no, you already know it's something going on. And they can't say no because if they find out it was yes, that's perjury. So, I don't know, Andrew.
The funniest part about that is her husband was about 2 rows behind her in that hearing.
Hey, I'm sure they already had a powwow about this. I'm sure he knows the truth at this point. If it's at the committee meeting and you getting asked this question, trust me, the husband already know what's going on. He just tell me to it straight, Kristi. Tell it to me. What happened? They did that in the back room. They got that all out, so now he's in character. He's not going to show anything. He's going to have the stone face. Hey.
He has a good attorney.
Well, look, when we come back, I want to head over to Los Angeles, Truth Nation. The only reason I'm going to Los Angeles because members of a Baptist church over there is calling for a dismissal of a pastor after he pushed the elder out the front of the church. And it's on video. Y'all don't want to miss this. I can't believe it. I can't believe this happened. The pastor pushed the elder, one of his senior members, right out the front of the church doors, and it got caught on video. I want to talk about this when we get back. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
And that's Tory Lowe, bringing you all the action and all the smoke. Thank you, Milwaukee. Because of you, the second annual Truth Community Awards was an unforgettable celebration of the leaders, changemakers, and heroes who make our city shine. A special thank you to our incredible partners, Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousins Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. And thank you to our presenting sponsor, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Together, we're celebrating community, culture, and impact. We'll see you next year at the Truth Community Awards.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call, and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call, and that's all.
They will do what they say they're going to do. One call, and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, I want to head over to Los Angeles, but before I go over to Los Angeles, I want to see who in the chat. We got Essie in the chat. Uptown Lex, what's up? What's up, Uptown Lex? Lil Woody, he say we lit. We want all the smoke today. Salute, salute. Jeff is in the chat. Cyber King Mike is in the chat. Anita, Goulash, Kawanda, I see you, Kawanda. Felix is in the chat. I'll say this, salute to everybody joining the show. Sincere Runny Ray Real, salute to you. Mo the Elephant, I see you, Mo. And Beautiful Soul is in the chat. Okay, I want to head over to Los Angeles because this when I seen this video, it broke my heart. It broke my heart because, I used to be a deacon in church. We were there to serve the community. I was brought up by the old bishops, the old guard, where you had to serve. You had to really put some work in, you had to really do, you really had to serve the people. So when I see what's going on in 2026, it just kind of disheartening. And we got a family that's not backing down. Members of a Baptist church in Los Angeles is calling for the dismissal of their pastor. If y'all are watching, I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to join in. Y'all need to see this video. I can't believe this. We need Minister Kevin to come and pray for these people. Pray for this pastor. He definitely ain't going to heaven after this. I don't know how much he got to repent from doing this, and then when you see this lady looked like a traditional churchgoer, like your grandmama, your auntie. You know what I mean? And he broke her wrist in the process. If y'all watching this rebroadcast live, we got video on this. Let's listen.
Shocking surveillance video shows a man pushing a woman down the stairs.
This is what the pastor did.
Congregants of Beulah Land Missionary Baptist Church in Gardena contend the perpetrator is their very own church leader, Pastor Lorenz Roseman, and the victim, a church elder.
And that's why the members of this church are asking him to step down and resign.
Pastor Roseman was arrested the same day on October 7th, 2025, and released 2 days later on a promise to appear. His alleged victim, Elise McTaw, appeared Sunday with a fractured wrist and toes.
I'm not the same after being hurt by somebody that you trust and love.
Wow.
Pastor Roseman didn't want to speak on camera, but did say the discord started when he took action against members of church leadership, who he says were doing things that were illegal and unethical. He says, quote, "When these individuals could not oust me through our church policies and procedures, they began to attack my character and weaponize the legal system against me."
He does not get to put his hands on anyone. These behaviors are not okay.
Wow. I mean, roll that back one more time if you can get to the shove. Now, I don't know what the inner fighting was, but as a pastor, he should have, what the Bible say? what the Bible say? If I hold my peace and let the Lord fight the battle, victory shall be mine. Now, if they was coming against him, you don't do this. You don't push nobody down. He done took the battle into his, and he threw her through the gate. Like, I mean, wow. Now, I understand the bickering and going back and forth with churches because they got a lot of drama inside the church. But for you to shove this woman through the fence, through the front door, oh, wow. Like, this is not what if you was talking to God and if God was talking to you, I don't think God would have told you to do this. What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? Now, this is why a lot of people don't go to church no more, because the pastor's acting impulsive, just like, you know, what you're seeing on social media. They get engaging in the foolishness, and, you know, you're supposed to be the shepherd. You're supposed to be the shepherd, but you involved in the foolishness and want people to forgive you, or you got to bring the message every Sunday. See, this is where I say, this is where a lot of people is just not trying to mess with this church because it's messy up in there. Now, he said that they was coming against him, coming against the leadership. And, you know, he probably had high blood pressure, but you don't push no woman out the front of the door. And now that she heard it on the news, I'm sure this pastor is not going to be there long, and I'm sure they going to press charges on him, and it works. See, he fell into the devil. He fell into the temptation. You know, and that's why you got to stay prayed up when you in these churches. You got to stay prayed up. Minister Kevin in the chat says they want him to step down. He can't pastor from jail. That's assault. Look, we gonna have disagreements, but we have a culture out here now that when they disagree with you, they gonna put hands on you. Now I know they say lay hand on no man suddenly. That's the scripture. Lay hands on no man suddenly. You know, he believe in the laying of hands, but you need permission. Understand what I'm saying? Truth Nation, if y'all watching, if y'all in the chat, let me know how y'all feel about this. He definitely had the high blood pressure that day. Roosevelt in the chat, he definitely had the high blood pressure. This is terrible. And now, you know, it's already a lot of negative stigma on the churches nowadays. And a lot of people in the churches is empty nowadays. A lot of people ain't flocking to church like it was when I was coming up. Easter, Christmas, all. Now, you know, it's because, and the churches always say it's because people hurt and church hurt. No, it's because the church is corrupt. It's some corrupt stuff going on, and they need to take accountability. They always talk about people need to take accountability. Church need to take accountability for all of this extra stuff they've been doing over the last couple of decades, and it's getting out to the public. Now that we got social media, we seeing it right now, and a lot of folks ain't really messing with that no more. The church ain't really speaking for the community no more. The church ain't even a spokesperson for the community no more. I know they try to stick them up there, but really, if you go and look at some of these buildings, it's empty. Like, it ain't a lot of people. It's a few churches that got members, but if you look at all the churches, it's a church on every corner, trust me. And those churches ain't full like they used to be. People used to be coming there for the wisdom and the knowledge, and now they got horror stories from going. I understand what I'm saying. And now I ain't saying that the church, you do need the moral foundation. You need to teach your kids some type of moral base, like to keep them, you know, in a space where they can kind of conduct themselves from a moral base. I believe that. I teach my kids the Bible. I teach the kids religious teachings and principles. I do. But I wouldn't let my kids be a member of no church. I mean, I gotta monitor my kids. And now if they want to be grown and go and get in the church, that's fine. But I'm the pastor. My babies. I'm going to help them out. But it is what it is. We got to do better. And it's going to take a lot of time to heal the village. We got to repair the village. It's time to repair the village. Uptown Lex said, I heard it was a church. Hold on, I guess it disappeared. Yeah, they zapped her comment. I was just trying to read the comment from Uptown Lex, and it got zapped. I don't even see it no more. But anyway, all I'm saying is, this is why I say in 2026, we got to work to repair the village. And that's going to take everybody. And that's going to take all of us, holding ourselves accountable and doing our little piece. If everybody do a little, ain't nobody got to do a lot. But if we get involved the way we supposed to and be about that action, it'll be all right. But right now, I'm just shaking my head. I'm just shaking my head. Uptown Lex said, I heard it was a church in Milwaukee charging people on New Year's to get in. Hey, it was a New Year's celebration. I don't know. All I'm saying is, however you want to slice it, you shouldn't have, this pastor shouldn't have laid hands on this elder like this. Bring the elder back up. Look at this face. Just pause it on her, how she looks. She looked like my grandmama. She looked like my auntie going to church. She got the church hat, the glasses. She got the dress on, the old school. She dressed up old school. Now these new people go to church right after they leave the club. The new folks come to church right after they left the club that night, smelling like the weed. I done seen that with the eyes all red from being out partying all night. But she dressed like my auntie and my grandmama. The way they used to go to church, with the hat on, with the glasses on, Then he got the wrist, pointing the wrist, the broken wrist in the camera. He ain't gonna be there long. He gonna be in jail. I wish that would happen in Milwaukee. I wish I would catch this going on in my city. Because I could do something in my city. Some of y'all like to talk about stuff that's going on outside the city because y'all can't do nothing about it. Around here, you would have had to see me. Because this auntie, and I don't care if auntie don't like your teachings, you don't push her out the front door. You don't shove her through it was a steel gate right there. You don't shove her through the front door like that. I'm surprised it's L.A. I'm surprised he ain't nobody swung around to come see him. Look at that. Wow. All right, well, this might give me the high blood pressure. Let me go to break. We got the Pop Culture Report coming up. Truth Nation. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more discussion, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Thank you, Milwaukee. Because of you, the second annual Truth Community Awards was an unforgettable celebration of the leaders, changemakers, and heroes who make our city shine. A special thank you to our incredible partners, Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousins Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. And thank you to our presenting sponsor, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Together, we're celebrating community, culture, and impact. We'll see you next year at the Truth Community Awards.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do the wiggles. The slate's coming in.
What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced
players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
This is the Tori Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
God, I see the bigger picture. How you think I'ma forget who the one who formed the rivers, who the one who formed the ocean? My foundation's solid. How you forget who the one who sent you your prophet, who the one who gave you your kid?
1017 The Truth, Tori Lowe Show. Pop Culture Report brought to you by Tori Lowe, and Andrew is going to assist in this Pop Culture Report. Andrew, it's a lot going on with 50 Cent and T.I. I guess there was a message recently from 50 Cent to T.I. from his page. What's going on here?
Tori, we didn't think it could get any crazier. It just keeps getting crazier between these two. It seems now that 50 Cent has put out essentially a warning shot to T.I. That warning shot being, hey, you know that documentary I made about P. Diddy that got everybody kind of on the side of, I think, the victims, but also against Diddy? Well, that could be coming to you. He has put out a working title called Surviving T.I. and Tiny for a new documentary coming out.
Well, there was a while back, there was women complaining of sexual assault from T.I. and Tiny. I think there was like 20 lawsuits or so, or 20 people claiming to be involved in a sexual assault situation connected to T.I. But I thought those cases was dropped.
I thought it kind of went under the radar, too. Maybe got swept under the rug, according to 50 Cent. Now, again, Tori, this is something that we got to keep an eye on here. Quote from 50 Cent's Instagram page, "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc? Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. You're going to ask about your 20 sexual assault cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." That's on 50 Cent's Instagram.
50 Cent's so petty. I mean, are these cases resolved? Because, nobody should be sexually assaulted, first of all. And if, I guess 50 taking beef to documentary. A lot of people want to rap, and people accept it in that format. Well, 50 say, hey, I'm going to make the documentary.
Hey, do not
That's
beef
the way
with 50 Cent.
This is the way he want to get down with it.
But it's so interesting, too, Tori, because you got to think, right? Like, we went back and forth last week. Hey, should they get in the studio? Should they not get in the studio? 50 Cent's essentially saying, like, you know what? You want to come at me? I'm going to get all the skeletons out of the closet.
Well, ain't making a documentary basically getting into the studio?
Different type of studio.
It's a different type of studio.
He's in the black room. He's got the negatives,
50 Cent may be on to something.
I hope this
maybe him getting into the studio maybe through video and film production. And a rapper's version of getting into a studio is getting on the mic.
Putting it on wax. No,
putting it on wax or putting it on Netflix. That's
the big winner here is Netflix. Because you know that if 50 Cent comes to them and goes like, hey, I have another documentary, you want to air it, they would jump for sure to play that.
But like I said, is this necessary in today's times to sell beef to get attention and control the culture? Because to me, right now, arguing, divide and conquer is running the algorithm to me.
So this is a good question for you, because if he's doing this in the name of beef, like, hey, I'm trying to expose T.I., expose these bad things, or is he trying to say, like, hey, respect the victims, right? Like, I feel like if you come at it from that angle, it's a little bit different,
But what I'm
right?
saying is there are victims, because this happened a while ago. T.I. was on live trying to say they was innocent. Okay, so we know this happened. But what I'm saying is this the wave of the future? You got a problem with me? I'm going to make a Facebook short on your criminal behavior.
Is this good? I maybe it is.
You gonna watch it. I mean,
oh yeah.
What I'm saying is people gonna watch this.
But is it good now that like anytime you do anything bad, somebody in 15, 20 years can then make a documentary out of it? Like,
well, what I'm saying is this is the American way to find leverage on somebody. And a lot of people in Hollywood can't speak out because people have dirt on them. So this is like a kind of an old school way to keep people under control. Oh, I got dirt on you, so you got to do what I say, right?
So the crazy thing about this...
But 50's just taking it to another level and saying, okay, you want to have a problem with me, I'm going to make a documentary about all the dirt you got.
But wouldn't, if you're 50 Cent, you have to think, too, like, I have to make sure I have no skeletons in my closet?
50 didn't come up like that, though. He came up in the drug culture. He came up from the streets beefing with people. 50 done beefed with some of the biggest New York gangsters. You know what I mean?
Came out on top, too.
So he came out, I guess, in a better position than they did. But this is how he came in the game. This is his whole relevancy.
But, like, let's say...
It's beefing with people.
Let's say somebody comes out with a documentary surviving 50 Cent, right? Or surviving something 50 Cent. Like, does this kind of take credibility away from him?
But do 50 Cent have any victims, though?
So that's what I'm asking. Like,
I mean,
you have to make sure
I don't think he has victims like that. But what they do say is 50 have maybe have worked with law enforcement or certain things to fight against Ja Rule at certain times, or have gave a statement to police about situations that he was involved in, stuff like that.
But are we okay with that?
But that's not something we'll make a documentary. Everybody doing that. Everybody snitching. Everybody, all the people who said that they was no snitch, they was this huge, incredible gangster. If you really do the research, many times when it came to the court issues, they bowed down.
Yeah. No, you're 1,000% correct about that. I just think to myself too, because you asked, like, is this the wave of the future? I think you're going to be in a different spot in 15 years, Tori, because, like, think about this now. People aren't going out to party anymore. Like, people aren't going to party because everybody's so afraid they're going to get drunk and get caught on a camera and then get exposed, right? So in 15 years, we're not going to have any of these type of things because everybody's going to have, like, this idea, I can't make any mistake, I can't do anything because somebody's going to try to expose me, which might be good. This might be the way of the future.
It's coming out more because 50 bringing it into rap beef. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's doing it in a way where he's making money through Netflix and putting, because I guess anything that's public is you can make a documentary on. So if somebody files a lawsuit, that's open records request. You can get that and you can make a documentary on that. What you can't do is go like Tasha K. She's a blogger, a well-known blogger on YouTube, and she made a mistake, or not a mistake, and reported that Cardi B had STDs and stuff like that, which was not true according to whatever at the time her medical records. But she sued Tasha K. I think Tasha K owed her like $3.9 million and was currently in court because they trying to check her financial records because Cardi B won her coins. So you got to be careful when you take that step to try to do somebody like that, because if it's any wrong information in there, you cooked.
Yeah, right now the restitution is set at $1.2 million over the next 5 years, Tori, in that Tasha K and Cardi B beef. I wonder too, like, if 50 Cent wasn't making any money off of this, like, this is pro bono work, this is just something that he's doing out of the love of the game or the hate of T.I., I do think that we have a little bit of a different vibe about it. But knowing that he's going to make millions off of a Netflix documentary, again, kind of muddies the water if, like, who's really the good guy in this situation.
All right, well, Josh in the chat says, I want people to give 50 Cent the same smoke that they gave J. Cole for not beefing with K-Dot. The selective outrage is real. All these immature games grown folks is playing always corny. They too old for this. And Uptown Lex goes on to say, they say 50 had some lady house set on fire and killed.
We'll see if the documentary comes out.
The house they claiming was his baby mama's house.
Yeah.
That, got set on fire or whatever, due to she had moved a man into the house and he allegedly gave her the house for her and her son. And when another guy moved in, all of a sudden, magically, the house got burnt up.
Long Island mansion, ex-girlfriend accused of involvement. No charges were publicly filed, though, Tori.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But if you throw that out there in a documentary, it's no charges been filed, he's not been accused, you can get sued.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, speaking of Cardi B, Stefon Diggs allegedly going to get
Your boy Stefon Diggs.
Yes. Allegedly going to get cut on March 11th, Tori. It's the beginning of the NFL new season, and I am concerned for my guy because coming off an ACL injury, he had a good year this year. Number one target for the Pats going to the Super Bowl this year. But
he had 5 yards in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 5 yards in the Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to get picked up again. Him and his brother both
are out the league, you think?
I don't think it's good.
The era of the diva wide receiver is over. The era of the diva wide receiver is over.
Tell me more.
Well, I think it started because Jerry Rice was quiet. Then you had T.O. and a number of other, OBJ, Randy Moss, like then the diva era, Ocho, Cinco, like the receivers became divas.
Terrell Owens.
Antonio Brown. The distraction is not worth it. The distraction is not worth it. And sometimes these receivers are superstars and they become the face of the franchise. But then when you add that diva and you add the miscellaneous stuff that they've been doing, a lot of organizations, they just don't want that. It disturbs the locker room. Instead of talking about progress of the football team, they're talking about Cardi B, Stefon Diggs, a lot of his private situations out here in the public. A lot of people are moving on from that, and a lot of people are going to realize that the NFL is going to start getting away from anybody that think that they can cause confusion in the locker room or disturb the game that they're trying to present as a product. And a lot of these brothers going to lose millions of dollars due to their personal behavior moving forward. I'm seeing the final end to the diva receiver.
I think you are onto something here because think about the best receivers in football right now. You think Justin Jefferson, you think Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, all those guys kind of more quiet, right? They're not somebody that's in the news, not somebody in the headlines. I like this take.
Well, I'll say this. When I saw that after the Super Bowl that he only had 5 yards, he broke up with Cardi, there was a lot of drama. We knew more about Stefon Diggs than anybody during the Super Bowl. Like, even though he was trying to be low-key, that was all in the blogs. So he was dominating with his nonsense or with his behavior while the Super Bowl. They not going to have that. They don't want the product to be scratched in any way, and I think that they're going to blacklist him. I mean, if you do get him, the price going to be so cheap that he's going to be quiet. Like, he's going to humble himself.
I got a stat for you. Ready for it?
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, Ocho Cinco, Randy Moss, Stefon Diggs, all these guys have something in common. All played for the New England Patriots. None of them won a Super Bowl with that team.
Really?
Think about that.
Oh, wow. Well, like I said, New England will give you a chance if you got talent. But like I said, that disturbing the frequency of the marketing, of the ideal of what they want to present to the public, that's not going to happen. That's not going to continue to happen. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more Pop Culture Report. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tori Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
This is your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 1017 The Truth.
The City Conference Boys Championship game did not disappoint last weekend. In the Gold Division title game, the two-time defending conference champs, the Milwaukee Juno Pioneers, went toe-to-toe with the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. This game was a back-and-forth battle, but the Pioneers made the plays down the stretch to pull out a 76-72 win behind a great performance of Gonzaga recruit and junior player Dooney Johnson, who dropped 28 points in the victory. And in the Blue Division, the Golden Meyer Owls did what they have done all year long in conference play, is just win, as they defeated the Audubon Cardinals 87-79 behind a strong performance from their senior guard Caleb Colbert, clinching the Blue Division crown. And lastly, in the White Division, the Bayview Redcats left no doubt cruising past the Vincent Vikings 90-64 to win the White Division Conference Tournament.
This has been your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update. This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You know I'm in the field. Everywhere you go, I'm there, baby, and that's real. You know I'm in the field. You know I'm in the field. I said I'm Mr. Lowe. AK the people's champ, the life of the party. You know I get it jumping. And you know I'm in the field. You know I'm in the field. Everywhere you go, I'm there, baby, and that's real. You know I'm in the field. You know I'm in the field. It's Mr. Lowe.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. I want to talk about this because I made this post on Facebook, and I guess a lot of people didn't even know about this. A lot of black women probably should pay attention to a lot of the things that is going on in the hair industry. And synthetic braiding hair and human hair extensions tested positive for lead, carcinogens, and toxic chemicals. This is a study that took place in 2025. 9 out of 10 synthetic hair products tested positive for lead. A follow-up 2026 study showed 30 additional products found in 29 of them. So, and then they also say that human hair included. In 2026, investigations revealed that human hair products were actually the worst offender, with all 9 human hair samples testing containing lead carcinogens far above the consumer safety level of concern. What's really going on? Now, when we talk about y'all looking good, because you know y'all want to look good, y'all want to get the box braids, y'all want to get, you know, y'all different styles, but y'all got to understand that when they have testing like this and they saying that it's lead and other carcinogens in the hair, synthetic and human hair. Y'all say I got the human hair. They saying that's the worst. So, and you're putting this on your head, which is close to your brain, and these chemicals, as you sweat, as you get to moving around, it starts soaking into your mind. And if it's right there, if the lead and the carcinogens is right on the top of your brain, it's affecting the brain. I'm telling you, y'all got to be careful because this is a real situation going on. And I think that I had to bring it to the front of the congregation because I see a lot of people going to these beauty stores, which is okay, but you got to also know that there's hazards going on. They're saying other hazardous chemicals in addition to the lead. 100% of the products tested contained volatile organic compounds. Health risk. Lead exposure is dangerous and could lead to immune system suppression, reproduction issues, kidney damage, hypertension, and neurologic issues. Understand what I'm saying?
Tori, they did an interview with one woman in New York City who she's been using this product for 20 years, she says. She noticed that she couldn't sleep at night anymore and that she lost her sense of smell. This is like from a year ago they interviewed her. So yeah, when you talk about the neurological damage of these like different hair products, man, like this is serious.
Hey, if y'all got some in y'all hair right now, y'all may want to check it. Y'all may want to check the hair brand. They saying that it's majority of the hairs, natural and synthetic. Understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if you can get around this. I don't know, Queens. I don't know if y'all can actually get around this. I don't know if it's an actual safe hair brand. I don't know. Because they can also spray it up with carcinogens, like to make it straight, to get it to lay down. So it may not have one thing in there, but it got some other stuff to make it do what it need to do to look like real hair. So y'all need to make sure that y'all do some research on y'all hair. I remember when the thing came out with the perms, that they said the perms was bad, and a lot of people did the big chopped that perm off, grew their hair back natural. They go with the perms, but they kept doing the braids, the box braids, the lace fronts. So all I'm saying is, either you can't, even if they don't get you one way, or if the product ain't getting you in one way, it's going to get you another way.
The industry as a whole, Tori, the hair industry for box braids and for wigs and extensions, everything, projected to be around $6.3 billion next year.
Oh, wow.
This is a organization, this is a thing that they could spend money on to make this safer for women, and they're not right now. Maybe this will bring some awareness, and maybe more
Can you make that kind of stuff safe when you have to process it?
That's a good question. I hope so.
All I'm saying is, this is just a warning for y'all to take, and y'all do y'all homework. Go and look it up. Go get your Googles out. If y'all listening, if y'all got family members that's at the hair shop, hey, you ain't no telling. They may be braiding in the lead poison and the carcinogens, and that's why they acting crazy. That's why they can't comprehend, low comprehension skills, all of that. A reduction in that's why a lot of people wilding out. They can't think straight. They got the chemicals seeping into their brain. That's why your girl ain't listening. I'm just playing. I don't know. Maybe she was already like that. I don't know. But let's just take this conversation and try to dig deeper if you can to make sure that you're safe. Once again, they're saying that there is lead and carcinogens, other carcinogens, and other chemicals, harmful chemicals, in these hair products, whether it's synthetic or human hair. Make sure we do our due diligence, because we don't want no harm coming to a lot of the women that's out here styling themselves. Josh says braiding in the lead is diabolical. This what's happening. Y'all attaching the lead to y'all head with the other harmful chemicals. That one guy everybody knows says, I'm probably 30% lead being raised in old housing as a kid. Hey, well, make sure you don't get into an argument with somebody. You might, they say you got violent tendencies. The side effect of lead poisoning, sometimes it leads to violent tendencies. But like I said, I'm just throwing out that warning. Anything else with the pop culture report that we need to cover? Let's talk about that. What's going on with the Slutty Vegan? The woman that owns the Slutty Vegan has filed for bankruptcy. Now, the Slutty Vegan was a huge, a lot of people was praising this. But, filing for Chapter 11 is not abnormal. We got some video on this if you watch this rebroadcast live. Let's listen.
On New Tonight, the founder of Slutty Vegan and a recent addition to the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast has just filed for bankruptcy. Our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle reporting that Pinky Cole owes more than $1 million in small business loans and $192,000 in state taxes. Cole has been in the news over the past few years here for financial troubles involving her vegan fast food chain. She said in her bankruptcy filing that she is currently not receiving pay stubs and listed herself as unemployed.
Okay, well, she's following the playbook. You gotta act like you ain't got nothing and you filing the Chapter 11. I mean, everybody say that. Everybody claim that they don't have anything when they file for bankruptcy. That's the part of the game. If y'all don't understand bankruptcy, y'all don't understand why they say all of that. But, they got to file it. I don't got no money. I'm broke. That's you don't want them to hit you. You want to come out clean. You don't want them to hit you with no extra.
Yeah, you don't want to have to pay any more in taxes or back taxes or anything. I did not know about this, Tori. This was something that I learned about today when you were telling me that this restaurant in Atlanta was now. You said that Kamala Harris went there and stuff?
No, they talked about this during the political campaign, the Democratic political campaigns. They was all, Slutty Vegan, all of that. Like, yeah, I mean, she had a huge brand.
How much do you think she's going to get paid for the Real Housewives gig?
I don't know. I don't know the budget for that. A lot of those reality TV people, they don't get that much.
Interesting.
They don't get that much. So a lot of people trade fame. Fame don't always come with a check. That's all I'm going to say. Fame and notoriety don't always equal success on the money side.
So what is it? You get signed up for that, and then you just parlay it into social media success?
No, it's up to you after that. Once you can tell with a lot of the music artists, they owe the companies millions of dollars. They don't have all of the money that they present or market themselves to have because they got to pay a lot of that back. So it depends on what they do with their opportunity. Some people, when they get the fame, they go into business. They'll start getting properties and trying to build wealth on the back end. A lot of people, they'll spend their money, go partying, trying to floss, and they end up with nothing. So it depends on the person. But fame only gets your name inside these homes, on the radio, in the newspapers and things like that. Fame do not equal millions of dollars.
I'll tell you, the two jobs that you think get paid more than they actually do, it seems like, is musician and NFL player. Those are the two jobs that everybody thinks makes a ton of money, and they usually don't.
Oh, NFL players usually have agents. They get high-priced properties that cost a lot of maintenance. By the time their career over, the maintenance to keep up with all of the houses and the cars and everything, it just eats away at the savings.
You see the Iman Shumpert clip talking about different baby mamas and stuff?
Yeah.
He was like, you can have 4 or 5 different women, but the minute that you stop playing, all of it goes up like that.
Right, because it's maintenance. Hey, look, when we come back, we got guests, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Regroup, rethink, and reshape, and get on the front lines. It's only to your benefit. I always tell people, you helping the overall ideal of a better community, it actually helps you out. It helps you out. It helps your family out. It's time. Do not bring that reactionary attitude into the new year. This is the best time to start fresh. This is the plot. They plot this out, and it's been going on for years. This is normal. This is the way it is. This is where we are right now. It's all buddy-buddy. And if you're not a part of the friend situation, you're not getting in. They don't want nobody getting in and seeing where the messy. That's why I'll never get in. Because they know I'm not going to play around about my community. They know I'm not going to sit in no meetings and see y'all shucking and jiving and sniggling and giggling and not say nothing about it. I'm going to tell you to shut up.
The Tori Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Hey
there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. You think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Join the movement. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the second hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we got guests. Look, this guest right here amazed me with what she's doing in the community and what she have done for herself in the world of boxing. Right here in the city of Milwaukee, a gym. We have Donna Gallardo. Is that how you say it? Say it again. How do you say that?
Gallardo. Yeah.
Yeah. Donna Gallardo is the owner of She Wolf MKE. She has a women's boxing fitness gym, and she deals with not only training others, but the community as well.
That's right.
Young girls in the community. How you doing, Donna?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Donna, I'll say this. I was recently in your gym, and the She-Wolves was out. The She-Wolves wasn't playing around.
That's right.
What's going on? Give us a little history and background on your gym and on your rise as a boxer as well.
Yeah, so I started She Wolf MKE back in 2021. I opened up an LLC. I was doing a lot of work with women on the side. You know, I had a corporate job, but boxing has always been in my background since I was 12 years old. So just taking it back to when I was 12, you know, that's when I started boxing. I started at the United Community Center that's here in Milwaukee on 9th and Washington. Little did I know that I was going to find myself in that world for over 10 years competing as an amateur. But my story begins way back, just thinking about how I got into the sport. I was being bullied at school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you go to school right here in Milwaukee?
I did.
What school was that?
St. Anthony's.
Oh, St. Anthony's.
Yes.
They was bullying you at St. Anthony's, and then did a mentor come along? Did somebody say, hey, look, I'm going to teach you how to fight? How did this happen?
Honestly, I literally just walked over to the community center on a cold winter day with two of my friends. We were just going to go jump on the treadmill or something. And on my way out, I heard some loud banging, and I'm like, oh, that must be some boxing bags. So I went up there, checked it out, and I fell in love with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And the rest was history.
The rest was history.
Women's boxing history.
That's right.
Now, in your boxing journey, you have won Golden Glove.
Yep.
What's going on? Explain to me, how did you go from walking into a gym, this looks cool, to actually going into competition?
It's kind of surreal. I was a little bit nervous. When I first got asked to spar, I was like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but sure, I'll do it. But for me, the fact that the coach took me under his wing and gave me the time to train me meant a lot. And so, I just started showing up to competitions. We would go to places in the Midwest like Minnesota, Iowa, Chicago. And I just fell in love with the idea of competition.
When did you know you had them hands? When did you know you had them hands? Like, it was the first fight, the second fight? When did you know that you was you was going to be a problem?
It might have been the second fight. That first fight was a little bit, questionable. But the fact that I didn't give up, I kept coming back. I think it was like that discipline that's instilled in me that I had to keep coming back to prove something. Yeah.
So now you're dealing with the community, and you told me something that really just touched my spirit, because I go around and talk about bullying in schools now. I try to go to each school, kind of, let's discuss this. But I feel that when children know how to defend themselves, it kind of pushes back against the bullying situation. The bullying won't, if your child knows how to fight, bullies usually don't pick on hard targets. They usually choose soft targets.
That's right.
So you have a program where young girls can come twice a week and learn how to box.
Yes.
Wow. What is that? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I started my nonprofit last year. It's called Lioness Academy, and it's a program for youth girls ages 6 to 17. We basically do the same type of boxing programming that we do for the girls that are under She-Wolf. But this program is specific to families from low-income communities that can't necessarily afford to take their kids to a gym like ours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we subsidize that membership for them and allow them to come and train with us and hold space for them.
The She-Wolf.
Yeah.
Take them into the den. What do you call your boxing space? Is it the den? What?
I mean, you can think of it as a den.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So you also work with adults as well, adult women. Domestic abuse is a huge issue as well.
Yes.
What is your main strategy when you try to teach women to defend themselves and keep them inspired to learn more?
Myself and all of the coaches that I have, we take a trauma-informed approach to all of the training that we do at our gym. So we try to understand where people are stepping into our gym, what their background is like before we ever try to, step into their space and tell them what to do, right? We want to approach it from like a very mindful place because everybody's walking a different journey, a different path, and we just want to meet them where they're at.
Now, I was in there for, a little bit, just seeing people just, tapped in. I'm talking about being instructed correctly, because I used to box. I used to be in Tough Mans and stuff. I don't want to talk about it, but I used to do the minute, 3 rounds, a minute rounds, these tough mans that used to come through Iowa and Minnesota. I won 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We came up on the block. So, like I said, it was built-in anger,
That's
But
right.
what I'm saying is, when you talk about bullying and domestic violence when it comes to women, and now it's a lot of talk about people essaying women and things like that, how important it is for you to implement your programs in our communities to help out with those disturbing statistics?
I think, first of all, I want women to learn confidence, right? To be confident in themselves, to be able to deal with all of the pressures of the world. We get a lot of women that are mothers that are dealing with partners that maybe aren't as supportive. And like I said, we want to hold space for them, but we also want to give them the skills and teach them that they are powerful beings. And so when a lot of women come to our space, that's exactly what they're looking for. And I'm very happy that we're able to provide a space like ours so that they can express themselves and build themselves through strength and the power that boxing has.
Well, look, I'm going to save something for when we get back from break, but I will ask you this. In your journey as a boxer and as a trainer and dealing with not only just the fact that you have to prepare yourself for, battle. Many times you had to prepare yourself for battle. Now you're preparing other people to be in situations where they may have to be in battle. What is your message to a lot of the young girls, and what inspires you to continue to do this? What makes you wake up every day and say, hey, look, I got to get up. I got to make sure that this is going because this is desperately needed in the female boxing community right here in Milwaukee, which I didn't even know, we had a female boxing community till I ran into you. How do you keep this community going? And what motivates you to do that?
I think what motivates me is that there's purpose behind this mission. And ultimately, I want these young girls to become leaders because that's exactly what they're going to become. If you haven't really thought about this, women will be leading this next generation. And so we need powerful...
some of them think they're leading right now.
Truthfully, yeah. But that's what it's all about. But instilling the right type of skills, it's not just about having a pretty face and using those skills to draw people in. It's more about how you lead as a person. And I think a lot of these young girls just need direction. Right. And to have a figure that is going to give them those types of skills to lead in the world, I think is very important. And that gets me up every day.
Well, look, when we come back, you might be coming out of retirement like Floyd Mayweather. You might be stepping back into the ring.
Yep.
Hey, look, also I want to talk about women's boxing exploding with all that is going on with Clarissa Shields. I want to see how you feel about that.
Okay.
I might have to come out rapping while you coming down the aisle if you come back. Hey, look, when we come back, we have more discussion. We got Donna in studio from She-Wolf MKE, representing women's boxing and fitness, gym, and community at the same time. Boff! Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I travel all around the world, Dr. Ken, and when I tell you, based on my experiences, this is like the #1 country that cares. Like everything is about money. Yep. Everything.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
I've told people in the past, you have to be careful of what you complain about and what you use as a tool because other people will take it and use it in the wrong way.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Adversity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 1017 The Truth.
The City Conference Boys Championship game did not disappoint last weekend. In the Gold Division title game, the two-time defending conference champs, the Milwaukee Juno Pioneers, went toe-to-toe with the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. This game was a back-and-forth battle, but the Pioneers made the plays down the stretch to pull out a 76-72 win behind a great performance of Gonzaga recruit and junior player Dooney Johnson, who dropped 28 points in the victory. And in the Blue Division, the Golden Meyer Owls did what they have done all year long in conference play, is just win, as they defeated the Audubon Cardinals 87-79 behind a strong performance from their senior guard Caleb Colbert, clinching the Blue Division crown. And lastly, in the White Division, the Bayview Redcats left no doubt cruising past the Vincent Vikings 90-64 to win the White Division Conference Tournament.
This has been your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Look, I'm gonna tell you this: we got an amazing guest in the studio, and the thing is, when it comes to women's boxing, when it comes to all of the things that you're doing for the young people in the community and yourself, because you might be stepping back in the ring, we got Donna from She Wolf Fitness Gym in the studio. Now, look, Donna, you might be stepping back in the ring. Now, how long you been out of the ring?
17 years.
Okay, so you've been out of the ring for 17 years.
That's right.
Now, women's boxing is taking off now.
Yeah.
Higher stakes now. Clarissa Shields is kind of bringing a lot of attention, a lot of marketing to the sport of women's boxing. I need to be your manager. I need to get out there and make sure we get them big fights.
That's right.
What's going on? Why do you think you may step back in the ring?
I don't know. I think once I started training with some of the fighters and athletes that I have at my gym, you know, I was jumping into the ring to help them spar, and just a little bit of that competitive side of me came back out. And I'm like in this season of life where I'm like, let me just see if there's still something there. Right? And the only way to itch that scratch is to go and do it.
And then what division would you be in? It's like
I think it's like the 143 weight category.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you a defensive fighter? Are you aggressive?
I'm not aggressive.
Okay.
I kind of
calculating.
I'm a calculated
counter
fighter.
Puncher?
Yes, counter puncher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the record? What is your record? Like your professional record?
No professional fights, just amateur.
Okay, so all amateur.
Yep.
And so you would be making your first professional debut somewhere here. If you step back into the ring, would that be your first professional fight?
It wouldn't. I would actually compete in the Golden Gloves again.
Oh, you would go back to Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
And see if you can kind of recapture the gloves
essence,
again. Yeah, because you got Golden Gloves already.
Yep.
So would that be the testing ground to see if you can
If
launch?
I still got what it takes.
Why didn't you turn professional?
Honestly,
you know what I mean? Like you got the skills on the amateur level. Why didn't you step into that next?
So there was a little break that I took, right? I stopped boxing when I was about 20. That was my last fight.
Okay.
Because I was in college, and that took a lot of just time out of my schedule just to finish all 4 years of that.
Salute.
Yeah, so like after I got done, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go back into boxing, but I was doing some other endurance sports in between. Then I got presented with an opportunity to start training groups of people at different gyms for boxing. They wanted to bring boxing programming into their gyms, so I started doing that, and that kind of sparked a desire to be back in the sport, but teaching it. And, it never crossed my mind that I would find myself back in the ring. But, now that I have my own space, it's like, well, let me see if I still got what it takes.
I mean, look, let me tell you something. I mean, we could throw this big. We could have the, get the Pfizer form, get everybody together for the,
man.
You got to, I mean, what would it, okay, do you ever think you could go pro?
If I put the time into it, absolutely.
You got the gym.
Yeah. It's just a lot of time dedication.
We got stairs here where you can run up like Rocky, run up the stairs and pow.
All right, I guess I got it.
I'm in your corner now. I'm here for the action. Now, when it comes to just training, you have trained professional athletes as well.
Yep.
And are these people that just come in for the exercise of boxing, or from different other sports? Because a lot of people use boxing as a way to, train their muscles, but they play other sports.
That's right. So I used to train Drew Holiday, Lauren Holiday, his wife, and Wes Matthews. We got some training sessions in here and there.
Salute to Drew Holiday and his wife. Heavy in the community, did a lot for our community.
Yes.
So, hey, salute. That was amazing. And when you talk about just the fact that you're able to be around professional athletes and get them in shape through boxing, that shows how your brand has grown.
Yes.
Over the years through consistency.
That's right.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Now, as you move forward, maybe you may step in the ring, well, definitely the Golden Glove idea.
Yeah.
You think that's gonna happen? I'm trying to be your manager. You feel? I'm trying to get out here and get promote the big fight. Where you could get in there with Clarissa Shields or somebody.
Oh man, calling me out.
We got to send Clarissa Shields an email. We got somebody here in Milwaukee.
There you go.
All right. So, what is your message to the youth right now? What is your message to the people that you're trying to connect to, the women, the youth, the community? What do you got to say to those that are listening?
I just want to let them know that they need to stand their ground. They need a place where their voice can be heard, and you just got to find those outlets so that you can allow yourself to express freely in a space that is going to support your nervous system. And so for me, that's always been very important. Holding space for young girls that just need to be seen, need to be heard. And something like the sport of boxing is definitely going to give you an outlet where you feel seen. And there's absolutely no pressure to perform a certain way because it's all women.
And how can people keep up with you? I mean, how can they get involved with your social media? Where's your social media handles? Yeah. We want to know all of that. Give us how we can keep up with your journey.
Yeah, so I've got a IG handle, SheWolf_women's boxing. And then our nonprofit for the girls is called Lioness Academy. Lioness Boxing Academy, all one word.
And then when we talk about like, you individually.
Yes.
We trying to see what these boxing matches look like. If you go Golden Gloves, we need to get the date and the times. We got to support you.
I appreciate that. So Golden Gloves in Wisconsin are going to be held April 3rd and 4th.
Hold on. So wait a minute. It's coming up. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. You finna step in
a month.
Next month.
Yeah.
Do we have to get tickets or do we just show up at the venue or what?
Yeah. So if you go online to Golden Gloves Wisconsin, you should be able to purchase tickets for the event.
Okay. We going to be there front and center, Andrew.
Oh, 100%.
Hey, will you be sponsored by Adidas?
Possibly.
I'm just saying. I mean, you got NILs out here now.
That's right. That's right. I better be.
Hey, so like I said, it's phenomenal what you're doing. I appreciate everything you're trying to do for the community, and you stepping back into the ring as well. You know, Donna. Hey, it's one of the most fascinating people that I've met in 2026.
Thank you.
And once again, can you give the information if people want to get involved with the gym as an adult, training, or even as the youth, if the youth want to get involved? Give that information one more time.
Yeah, so you can always send a submission or request over to shewolfmke.com. That's our website. And then if you're interested in a donation or sponsorship for our Youth Girls nonprofit, that's going to be lionessboxingacademy.org.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to be front row seat, Andrew, for the Golden Gloves. Pow! Hey, look, I need to be, what do I got to do to be in the corner? Like, you know.
Well, you need a USA boxing credential.
Oh, wow. How long did that take to get? I may not have time for that. I might have to just sit in the front row.
You might have to sit in the front row.
Okay.
But that's okay.
But look, we can spice it up. We can come out and I could be rapping while you coming out, you know,
I love that.
Do they do that at the Golden Gloves? Do you have intros like that? Big intros like that?
They don't.
Oh, wow. We're going to have to change the game or something. Well, all right. Well, thank you for coming on the show today, Donna.
Thank you so much.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversation. Stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is the Tori Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The day of the dragon, the last of the garden parties, and the last of the summer clubs. The planet got hotter, the fire got harder, and the cities kept on burning hotter, while the house got smaller. Tori Lowe fights the slumlords. 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 Hey!
101.7 The Truth. Tori Lowe Show. Look, I got a press release from attorney B. Ivy LaMarr. Let me pull it up. You know, B. Ivy LaMarr is definitely a family right here at Truth Nation, an attorney born and raised right here in the city of Milwaukee. I just got a press conference scheduled for 2 p.m. outside Aurora Sinai Medical Center. March 25th, National Civil Rights and Wrongful Death Attorney B. Ivy LaMarr has been retained by the family of Christopher Robinson Jr., who was shot inside the emergency department at Aurora Sinai Medical Center during the early morning hours of Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Robinson remains on life support. He's alive, but he's on life support. And his family is demanding answers about how such a violent act could occur. Sorry about that. I need to take a sip of water. Occur inside a hospital. Now, I'll say this. You know B. Ivy LaMarr ain't going to play. And the family says that Christopher Robinson Jr., who was shot inside the emergency department, he's alive, but on life support. Now, I heard that he was not alive on the news. They said that one passed and one person was alive. Matter of fact, they had the young man on the news the other day that got shot in the stomach area where it was a bullet graze on the news. And then they told him that Christopher, I guess, had passed. But he's on life support, so maybe he's in a space where life support is keeping him alive. But we got attorney B. Ivy LaMarr coming in right after that press conference. He'll be right here on the show to give us a little bit more details. And that'll be happening maybe closer to the 3 o'clock. Maybe the top of the next hour. And once again, my condolences and my prayers go out to anybody that was negatively affected due to the shooting that happened at Aurora Sinai Medical Center. Once again, terrible to be shot in the emergency room. You go to the emergency room to stay alive, not to get unalived. How did it happen? We're going to find out more details when Attorney B. Ivy LaMarr shows up. Also, I want to continue the conversation on these data centers. These data centers, they're saying that Port Washington residents continue to demand answers from officials amid growing concerns over a $15 billion data center in Port Washington. They got concerns. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. They got some video on this. Let's listen.
For months, this has been the round-the-clock soundtrack in Port Washington. And neighbors are tired of listening.
Our community should not become an industrial sacrifice zone and for someone else's profit.
On Tuesday, dozens gathered during the Common Council meeting.
I stand here in defiance
to share their concerns.
This is ruining people's lives. It is affecting people's mental health, people's physical health. It is affecting our properties, our vehicles, everything.
According to Port Washington Mayor Ted Knightsky, their concerns are being heard.
We've asked them to, at this point, voluntarily minimize or mitigate what type of construction they're doing in the evening, especially after 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, to ensure that the neighbors are not continually impacted by that round-the-clock component.
The mayor says as crews enter the next construction phase, Vantage data centers will communicate their schedule more so residents know what to expect and when. And they'll create a way for anyone to report any construction violations that they may see.
We've also asked them to work with the neighbors as well as others on the lighting to ensure that the lighting is not a distraction and or directly shining into neighbors' properties.
Plus, the mayor says Vantage has hired a community engagement lead whose job will be to address direct community needs and complaints.
This is not a rant. This is a rally cry.
But some homeowners say that's not enough.
We should be asking, why should Port Washington absorb the pollution and risk so a private data center can operate cheaply?
All right, well, the fight is on. A lot of these women are asking questions. I didn't see any males say anything. They want the job. They want the construction. The women, cut that noise out. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear all that. It stopped them from getting out and about and the roads closed and things like that and the pollution and the things that they are more worried about. Hey, here we go. We've been talking about this. Also, it was a while back somebody had got in the chat that said that they wanted to come on a Tory Lowe show from the data centers. Somebody was in the chat. I hope they come back in the chat. They said that they wanted to come on the show, that they were working at the data centers and they wanted to come on the show. And I don't see them in the chat no more, but maybe they sent them they heard us talking about it and they was trying to reach out to see if they can send somebody over here to discuss.
I sent them my email in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he was just posting in there and he didn't see when you put the email. I don't know. But somebody was in there trying to come on the show. We need somebody. If y'all listen, I know y'all listening because we the only ones we probably talk about it the most right here on the Tory Lowe Show. Like, send somebody in here that can talk about these data centers and give us some real information on what's happening. Why are people upset? Why is it a good thing? What's the pros and cons? I want to know. Also, I want to go to this other story where the MPD officer charged with misusing the flock cameras, he resigned. A lot of people thought he got fired. But he resigned, which means he get to keep his ability to be a police officer and maybe travel somewhere else to get a job. So he resigned, and he was charged, but he pled not guilty. I'm not guilty for looking at the flock cameras trying to spy on my girl and her ex, seeing if they was creeping while I was at work. I don't know. But we got video on this. Officer peeking through the flock cameras, please not guilty. We got video. If you hit that like and subscribe button if you watching as we broadcast live. Let's listen.
Coming out of court Wednesday. Mr. Ayala, do you have anything to say to the people that you allegedly tracked? No comment from you, sir. Now former MPD officer Josue Ayala offering no comment to 12 News. A couple minutes earlier,
State of Wisconsin versus Josue Ayala.
He saw a court commissioner for the first time, charged with attempted misconduct in public office.
Thank you. Enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Prosecutors say he used these flock license plate reader cameras to illegally track a romantic partner and that person's ex. A criminal complaint says he searched their plates in an official database a total of 179 times.
You may be fined not more than $10,000 or in prison not more than 9 months or both. Do you understand the maximum charge and penalty you face today, sir?
Yes, sir. The commissioner released Ayala on a signature bond. Milwaukee police said Wednesday Ayala resigned after a little more than 8 years as an MPD officer. 12 News Investigates obtained his disciplinary record. It shows 3 previous disciplinary actions while he was a Milwaukee police officer. In 2019, MPD suspended him for 3 days without pay for failure to conduct a thorough and careful investigation and wrote him a reprimand for not turning on his body cam. In 2020, MPD suspended him for 10 days for failure to conduct a prompt, thorough, impartial, and careful investigation and file reports. And again, in 2025, a written reprimand for failing to use his car properly. For that single charge, Ayala pleaded not guilty and left with his attorney. No comment from you, sir.
All right, and this the person you put over the flock camera. Somebody that got previous history of not being thorough on his paperwork. This the one y'all got when y'all know the community got a lot of mistrust issues. This the one that y'all allow to watch and have hold and leave alone with the flock cameras. Y'all knew if he had a history of doing certain things that was questionable, you knew he was going to get on the flock cameras and do something questionable. Understand what I'm saying? And he had to have no oversight, because if he had oversight while he was working the flock cameras, somebody would have saw what he was doing. 100 and some times trying to check on his ex-girlfriend and her ex. So he up there by himself just going crazy with all of the control over the flock cameras, being diabolical. And now it's out in the public, and here we go with the trust issues. Now, you know, you're going to get a bunch of people, when this come up again, this is the story they're going to use about this officer. If you want to join the conversation, 833-212-1017. Talk to text 833-212-1017. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real in the chat says that data center guy was a bot. Now he a go bot. Hey, he could have been a bot. Salute to everybody in the chat that know when the bots show up. Y'all know when the bots show up. Thank y'all for handling the bots for me, because sometimes about time I recognize the bots, it's on commercial break or something. And they didn't disappear. They didn't came and tried to, they botted out in the chat. We got Candy on the lines. If you want to join the conversation, 833-212-1017. How you doing, Candy?
We got Candy on the line.
How you doing,
Kathy?
Candy?
I'm sorry.
What is
Kathy?
It? Kathy. Oh, this Kathy.
Okay, you know what?
Andrew put Candy on there.
That's okay.
He thought you tasted like candy.
Okay. So you know what? I'm glad you guys brought that up, because these cases need to be opened up on cases he has charged people with. He overcharged certain people, did different things on his reports, because this guy is not right. He's crooked.
He's problematic.
Right. And if you got a person like that and you're trying to date and you don't trust him, then you need to move on yourself, because ex-people, based on how they know people for a long time, could be just cordial friends, got children together. But it doesn't really matter. If you got to follow me, you need to leave me alone. Find somebody else that's up to your little sneaky standards, okay? Because that's like stalking a person. He needs to spend 9 months in jail.
Where the stalking charges at?
Right. See, they don't do that until certain types of people. They're going to say is that he worked there. They're not going to say much about him. He'll go to another county and just hang out in the same old stuff. See, them kind of people, when they do the psychological evaluation, you need to review their evaluation, too, because you can't tell just on evaluation putting somebody on law enforcement. I'd rather hire somebody been in jail a couple of times than rob people who got their stuff together now with faith, and then hire somebody like him with a squeaky clean record because he ain't clean, okay?
All right, Kathy. Hey, I'm going to tell you this. This is why when they say that this person has prior situations going on where he wasn't filling out the paperwork right, questionable investigations, why would you let him run the fly camera? Y'all don't even trust this person. He got documented history of doing things where y'all had to raise an eyebrow, and this the one y'all say, oh, you know what? You get this shift on the fly cameras. Wow. All right, look. When we come back, we got more stories. I got a couple stories I want to talk about, but this story at the Texas border where there was a chase in the shootout, a Wisconsin man was killed at the Texas border. I want to talk about that when we get back. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
This is your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 1017 The Truth.
The City Conference Boys Championship game did not disappoint last weekend. In the Gold Division title game, the two-time defending conference champs, the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers, went toe-to-toe with the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. This game was a back-and-forth battle, but the Pioneers made the plays down the stretch to pull out a 76-72 win behind a great performance of Gonzaga recruit and junior player Dooney Johnson, who dropped 28 points in the victory. And in the Blue Division, the Golden Meyer Owls did what they have done all year long in conference play, is just win, as they defeated the Audubon Cardinals 87-79 behind a strong performance from their senior guard Caleb Colbert, clinching the Blue Division crown. And lastly, in the White Division, the Bayview Redcats left no doubt cruising past the Vincent Vikings 90-64 to win the White Division Conference Tournament.
This has been your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update. This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Could have been me, 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 but it wasn't, 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 but it wasn't.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. A Wisconsin man was killed at the Texas border due to a chase and shootout. We got some video on this. What's this all about? I mean, let's check into this. What he doing over there at the Texas border? If you're watching this, we broadcast live. We got video. Let's listen.
Officials put it in Texas, Rhea. They say the man shot at police and civilian vehicles during this chase. It all started when a K-9 alerted investigators to that man's vehicle at that checkpoint. That should have triggered a secondary search. Instead, officials say James McMillan sped off from that checkpoint. Let's get to some video witnesses recorded along the highway. Again, during that chase, officials say McMillan started shooting at police vehicles, at civilian vehicles. Texas troopers had to use a pit maneuver to disable that vehicle. And it's at that point officials say McMillan barricaded himself inside that car. Moments later, they say he pointed a gun at police. They opened fire, killing him.
Wow.
And he stayed in the vehicle, showed his gun to our troopers and the rest of the agencies that are there. And that's when the agencies, law enforcement agencies, opened fire and shot and killed the young man.
And another note I should mention, they say that the troopers actually fired back during that chase, too. So you have a shootout there along the highway. We mapped out the area for you to show you where that Border Patrol checkpoint is in relation to the Texas-Mexico border. Reports show it is one of the busiest checkpoints in the region.
Hey, all right. So once again, hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Hey. I wonder what he was trying to do over there. You know what I mean? We need more details. We need to get a police complaint at least so I can read some of the details of this. But once again, Wisconsin man killed at the Texas border in the chase and the shootout. Also, I want to go into this other story where, I mean, I was saying this the other day, that Black Lives Matter, nobody really is discussing Black Lives Matter in the conversation no more. Matter of fact, it's almost like it disappeared. It almost like the whole Black Lives Matter thing then disappeared. It ain't even cool to talk about no more. But I seen something making its rounds on the internet where Black Lives Matter Lake County Executive Director Clyde McLemore was caught on video in a physical altercation with a female project manager. This has been making its rounds on social media where they fighting in the hallway. We got the video. If y'all watch this, we broadcast live. We got the director of Black Lives Matter in Lake County fighting a female. It's caught on video in a physical altercation. And this is sad. This is sad. Run that back, Andrew. Like this is terrible. What is going on? Like, this is what's left of the Black Lives Matter movement right here. Like, and I guess they're fighting over the mismanagement of funds. This is what I'm hearing, that they was fighting. They had some. They didn't like the way the money was being managed, and the video is starting to circulate. It looked like she's winning the fight. She handling him. She definitely handling him. Maybe she a she-wolf. Maybe she took some classes from Donna. But like I said, this is terrible. This is horrible. This is what's left of Black Lives Matter. Like, and I said it back then. I said it back in 2020, and people tried to turn against me. Every time I say something ahead of time, people get mad. But then once it comes out that I said what I was saying was right, they don't double back and was like, you was right about that. They just move on to the next thing that they don't like when I say. Somebody said to Tori, you be saying a lot of stuff on the air that be rubbing folks the wrong way. No, it rubs a bot the wrong way. I'm going to rub the bots the wrong way. The bots, a lot of the bots going to get irritated by what I'm saying because it goes against their programming. It goes against the programming. But once again, this is run that video one more time back a little bit because I want to make sure that those that are chiming in, this is what's left of the Black Lives Matter movement. They fighting in the hallway. Look like this man is fighting this woman, and what I've heard was there was a disagreement. There was a disagreement over financial, the way they was running the building financially. And this just looks sad, you know. And when I told y'all back in 2020 that the movement wasn't really what y'all thought it was, and it was just a scam, I basically, and all of a sudden I'm getting phone calls, people trying to, you know, I'm the sellout and all, and now nobody ain't talking about it. I'm still here. I'm still working in the community. I'm still getting phone calls during my show. Where the Black Lives Matter at? I'm just trying to tell you. Black Lives Matter, but this is ridiculous. And this never represented anything I was doing. Now this is where it came to. On the internet, people fighting right by the Black Lives Matter sign. That's terrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. I don't know. I'm going to keep it moving. I already said what I said in 2020. I said it before all of this. See, a lot of y'all reactionary, but when you out there in the middle of it and you get to see everything and you understand the frequencies, you can say it ahead of time. You can call it with pure confidence and never had to backtrack on no words or nothing I said since I've been on the air in 5 years. Lord, Lord, Lord. See, this is where, you know, when you see all of the people that went down for stealing money with the movement, okay. Y'all ain't say it's crickets. They'd have moved on to something else. Okay, they don't want to be held accountable for standing behind something that was a flop. Okay. But anyway, well, we also got the shooter at the Burger King situation. I got video. Somebody just texted me and text me some information about the situation with the Burger King situation in Muskego. Is that Muskego, right? Yeah, it was in Muskego. And I guess he 48 years old. He never committed a crime. They only charged him with not having his concealed weapon updated. That's all. They charged him with not having his concealed weapon updated. This is what the person in the text message is telling me, who's related to the person that did the shooting at the Taco Bell in Muskego. I guess they saying it was a kind of a self-defense situation. They said two guys were getting ready to jump him and got shot, and he shot at the ground twice. This is what was just texted me while I was on air. Allegedly, this is what was going on. This was a text message from somebody that was related to the guy that shot at the Taco Bell. We got some video on him making a court appearance. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, let's listen.
48-year-old Taco Bell worker Clarence James confronted the customers as they tried to force their way behind the counter. And after being shoved, James said he pulled a gun from his waistband and pointed it at one of the customers. That's when they took off, with James firing a few shots into the air outside for good measure.
State of Wisconsin versus Clarence James.
What landed James in jail was carrying a concealed weapon because his CCW permit expired in December. But prosecutors are not charging him with endangering anyone. James was ordered to be released from jail without bail ahead of his next court appearance, telling him to get his CCW permit updated.
If I understand it, they want you to reinstate your CCW, so I guess the state's being pretty clear. They're not prohibiting you from doing so. In fact, they're encouraging you to take care of that paperwork issue.
As he left court, James sounded relieved that he wasn't facing more serious charges.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
All right, so salute.
And Nick, what?
Obviously, he shot due to a threat. He shot in the air or gave two warning shots, not directly at the men. And now he gets to, only thing I'm hearing is that he got to update his license, his CCW. So that's an interesting outcome to the situation. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. We got B. Ivy LaMarr in studio. Stay locked in.
coming with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family's name look bad, your neighbor from down the street, if they see the son or daughter, be like, what are you doing? They gonna call you out. They gonna let you know that they saw you, and then they gonna tell you, come here. Now you know I'm gonna tell your daddy.
That part.
There are a lot of times when people are new to an area, they don't know where to plug in. And anybody who plugs in to 101.7 The Truth and listen to you and Dame and Truth Nation would know that there is a significant public outcry when violence happens in our community. Don't worry about the outcry if you're not listening to the right people. So I would encourage her to tune in to 101.7 The Truth and listen to you guys, Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris, Tori Lowe, and definitely Sherwin Hughes every day.
Watch all your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows by subscribing to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
A message from Tia Mowry, actress and Fair Celebrity Ambassador.
Game day isn't staged, it's lived. It's the shopping, the cooking, the laughter. For families managing food allergy, that same spirit of preparation means everything. Because food allergy isn't a lifestyle. It's a serious, life-threatening disease that can change everything in a moment. But being ready changes the story. It's knowing the signs, having a plan, and carrying epinephrine everywhere life takes you. Epinephrine is the only treatment that can stop a severe food allergy reaction known as anaphylaxis. It works quickly to reverse the symptoms and can save lives. As families and friends gather for the big game, we see what community looks like. It's one built on awareness, care, and love in action. Because readiness doesn't take away the risk. It brings back the joy. When you're ready to act, you're ready to live.
Visit foodallergy.org/ready to act to learn more.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. You think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we got attorney B. Ivy LaMarr in studio. There was a press conference today. B. Ivy LaMarr, he was retained by the family of Christopher Robinson Jr., who was shot inside emergency department of Aurora Sinai Medical Center during the early morning hours of Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Robinson remains alive but on life support, and his family is demanding answers about how such a violent act can occur inside a hospital. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy LaMarr? I just seen a snippet of some of the press conference that you had today outside Sinai. How you doing today?
Man, I'm good, Tori, man. It's good to be here.
Lift the mic, point it, get it up. The mic, Andrew, something's going on with the mic. Somebody need to come and fix LaMarr's mic, yeah.
Hey, can you hear me now?
His mic is falling over. All right, how you doing, LaMarr?
Man, I'm good, Tori. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, look, LaMarr, busy as usual.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is many times when we talk about a lot of the things you have to do as an attorney, civil rights attorney, which is, get to the bottom of what took place. Many times when you have different situations that you have to address. But this situation, in emergency room, I've never heard of somebody walking into an emergency room letting off shots.
You know, Tori, this is a situation that is, unfortunately, I have a lot of unique cases, but this one right here is one that, you know, it shocks the conscience. You know, it's one that you think about going to a hospital, any hospital, when you think about the betterment. You know, those are the type of things that you think about, getting healed, you know, recovering. You don't think about going into an emergency room, going in with one emergency, leaving out with another emergency. Going into one hospital, getting transferred to another hospital. These are the type of situations that, you know, I just don't think that there's any rationale that could explain these type of circumstances.
And is he still alive? This is the question, because on the news, they were saying that he had passed on previous reports. Now the family is saying that he is alive, but he's on life support.
That is correct. You know, I can personally vouch that at this moment, he is alive. I personally went and visited with him in ICU, and he is on life support. And, you know, so the family is, of course, faced with a very difficult decision here in the near future with having to make a decision whether to continue the life support. But he is alive. So any information or social media, news reports, media that has put out that he's deceased is inaccurate. You know, the family at this moment is still praying for a miracle. Of course, they, you know, understand the reality that they're faced with. They understand the probability of what the recovery would be. So they, you know, I think they're incensed with reality, but, you know, they still are keeping out a sense of hope and are still welcoming prayers and, you know, best wishes from the community.
A lot of people are wondering, how do you get shot in the emergency room?
Yeah.
That's the question. Like, was there something that had to do with the victims, or was this some kind of random attempt that we still don't know about?
So that's the first thing that I was investigating when, you know, the case came to me is, you know, trying to understand some type of rationale. How did this happen? One thing I can tell you is that the mother was with Chris Robinson when this occurred.
Oh, wow.
So she witnessed the whole thing. I mean, so I'll just kind of start back. He goes to the emergency. Initially, he had a hip injury of some sort, so he was kind of dealing with some hip
pain. So basically just a hip injury.
Yeah, so this is, first of all, this is something that could have happened to any of us. He's in the emergency room. He's there for a hip injury, and he's just kind of waiting, you know, patiently, as would us all. So he's there for a couple hours, about 3 hours to be exact, and there's somebody else that had already been in the waiting room. And this is the most bizarre part, you know, and this is coming from the mother's perspective. And, of course, you know, she is emotional. She's in an emotional state. But she is kind of articulating to me her vantage point of what happened. And the individual that she's saying was responsible for this was actually in a wheelchair.
What?
Dressed in black with a hat, black shoes. He brings out a firearm and at some point, and it's unprovoked. She's saying that it was not a confrontation. There was no type of conflict between Chris Robinson and the suspect in this case. So from her perspective, you know, this was completely unprovoked, and he starts shooting randomly. And after the first shot or two, she's saying, from her perspective, that the security and anybody in that room just kind of ran. That left her vulnerable and her son.
What?
And, you know, so, you know, this is what she's kind of depicting as to what happened. We do know that there's another individual who is completely unrelated to Chris Robinson who was grazed with the bullet. That's the second individual that was a victim. So again,
he was on the news yesterday.
Exactly. So there's no real rationale that we have for why this person did this. You know, we don't understand the motive. We don't have any idea what, as it stands right now, this was a random act of violence. And unfortunately...
And they have him in custody, the person in the wheelchair.
That's what they are saying. They're saying that person is in custody. And, you know, we're just waiting. The family has not heard anything from law enforcement. We don't have not seen any video. So, of course, the family is, again, here demanding answers. And we, you know, I think they're deserving of that.
The mother was there.
Yes.
He had a hip injury.
Mm-hmm.
To some, they would say this is just kind of just wild to have happen in the community, as far as like somebody's going to get help and dies in the city of Milwaukee.
That's right.
What does this say about the emergency room and the way it's set up? Was there any way this could have been avoided? He was in a wheelchair. Did anybody didn't he have to go through a metal detector? I mean, is there any precautions that could have prevented this?
Well, what we all know, and I've unfortunately had to go through a lot of different hospitals, you know, in my line of work, you know, visiting with families and so forth, but I'm sure we all can attest to when you go into these hospitals these days, we all go through monitoring, firearm, you know, checks. And the mother is saying that on the day in which she went, she had to take her coat off. They searched her coat.
Right.
They were very thorough with her. So as it relates to how an individual actually got a firearm into this facility is, you know, unbeknownst to us. And I also want to address at this moment, there's a statement that was made. And again, the reason why I think that this is such an important case is because this could happen to anyone. You know, we all have had to, you know, go to a doctor or hospital for something, right? Even if you visited someone else. We all could have been in the same seat in which Chris Robinson was just a couple of days ago. This is nothing that he provoked. This is not a conflict. This is not a beef that he had with somebody. This is just him being essentially at the wrong place at the wrong time. So now when we see a statement that's released by Aurora that essentially says that, you know, the threat is no longer present, you know, in essence trying to say that, you know, it's safe to come back to this facility. But I don't see how you can do that when you're not transparent with the public, letting us know what was the vulnerability to begin with. Until you answer the question as to how the firearm got into the facility, I personally would caution the public in their well-being being in that facility. Because in order for us to try to have confidence that you now have it together and that you have the proper security protocols in place, you must first identify this situation and how this gap and how an individual was able to get a firearm in a facility to begin with. So that's the starting point.
Now, I've been over there to that side of the hospital where the emergency room is, and there's public safety vehicles back there. Many times there's police vehicles back there. You know, that area has a lot of patrol going on.
That's right.
So when the shots was fired, the mother is saying that they ran.
That's what she's saying.
Wow.
She's saying that the individuals that were in that room left. And again,
like they left and they was trying to protect themselves.
Yeah, they was trying to get out of there too.
But ain't they security? Like, ain't they like the people that's they getting paid to secure?
Yeah.
But when it got real.
When it got real, that check wasn't enough.
Oh, you know? Wow. I mean, I'm just saying, like.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and again, I salute individuals that's in law enforcement because part of what you sign up for is to protect and serve. You are risking your life for the well-being of the community. So that's an important role and an important function that, you know, I have a lot of reverence for. But, you know, as she describes it, you know, it don't sound like the people, you know, was in that operating that capacity when it got real. And I just want to circle back to when you go into that facility, they have the no firearm signs. They actually have a sign that is on the ground that pretty much says, you know, there's going to be monitoring. You're going to be subject to monitoring going in. So what happened, where this lapse occurred, I'm troubled by. And it doesn't take. And one thing about it, in my line of work, I don't like excuses. Like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it regardless. If we get into litigation, I don't like all of that. I respect companies who stand up and say, you know what, this happened. This is a mistake. We are going to do whatever is necessary to ensure this doesn't happen. But making excuses, trying to put a rug over it, when I'm just leaving a hospital, witnessing a 40-year-old man on life support,
Wow.
I mean, it
that
don't
came
get no,
to the hospital for a hip.
Yeah.
For his hip something was going on with his hip, and he came in there with a hip issue and left on
with
life.
a brain issue.
Oh, wow.
He came with a hip issue and now is leaving with a brain issue. That's the reality. And when I'm actually in a room looking at somebody who I understand what the probability of his life is, when I understand that this is a person that was at MATC, that was supposed to pick up his gown, cap and gown the next day, getting ready for graduation.
What?
Those are the type of things that just kind of trouble me even more. So that's the reality of when corporations make poor decisions and they make cheap decisions instead of ensuring that there's quality security on their premises.
He was supposed to be graduating from MATC.
Yes.
All right, when we come back from break, I want to peel that back a little bit in the story because that's a twist in the story that we haven't heard about this young man that was shot in the emergency room. Hey, look, Truth Nation, when we come back, we got attorney B. Ivy LaMarr in studio. Stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ben Bruss here from ESPN Milwaukee, and I just want to officially declare I will be dominating Bowling for Babies.
Ben, it's charity bowling. You don't get a championship ring.
There are lanes, there are competitors, and there's going to be greatness.
Okay, but more importantly, WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies is going to benefit the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
So while I'm throwing strikes,
you're helping local families get essential baby supplies.
But we are also competing for 4 tickets to a Green Bay game and a VIP tailgating experience.
Sign up today at WTMJ.com/cares.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Adversity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 1017 The Truth.
The City Conference Boys Championship game did not disappoint last weekend. In the Gold Division title game, the 2-time defending conference champs, the Milwaukee Juno Pioneers, went toe-to-toe with the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. This game was a back-and-forth battle, but the Pioneers made the plays down the stretch to pull out a 76-72 win behind a great performance of Gonzaga recruit and junior player Dooney Johnson, who dropped 28 points in the victory. And in the Blue Division, the Golden Meyer Owls did what they have done all year long in conference play, is just win, as they defeated the Audubon Cardinals 87-79 behind a strong performance from their senior guard Caleb Colbert, clinching the Blue Division crown. And lastly, in the White Division, the Bayview Redcats left no doubt cruising past the Vincent Vikings 90-64 to win the White Division Conference Tournament.
This has been your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update. This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I got a lot. I got a shorty with some perfect hips, and she get it poppin'. She love to argue cause she love to make up sex. It's a lot. I don't mean to brag, but I'm the one to be watching. Trying to make a little cash, making 50 on the check. Check the check, thinking I was had to go chain, that was fake. When I get the streets, I took it in. Got a better job, thought I was a man. 1250 on the check, check the check.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. We got attorney B.I.V. LaMarr in studio. A situation with Aurora Sinai in the emergency where two people were struck by gunfire, and one is now on life support. Then the other was on the news the other day, and he got, I guess, a scar across his stomach or on the side of his stomach from the bullet. But we have a situation where the family called you, attorney B.I.V. LaMarr, to look into this. And many times families call you to do this, in the city. And salute to you for answering the call. But once again, a situation where now I'm finding out that Christopher was actually about to graduate with a degree in business.
That's right. Yeah, Christopher, he, his mother is, just telling me how excited he was, and that the next day he was supposed to go get some alterations done and get fitted for the cap and gown.
Oh, wow.
So graduation season is coming up on us, and, that was something that he was looking forward to. He also has 5 kids. He got a set of twins. He has up to a 21-year-old, so various ages. And this was an opportunity for him to kind of lead by example, kind of going back to school even at 40 years old.
Oh, wow.
And getting that degree. And I know that he's also done a lot of work in construction, home repairs, and those type of things as well. His family also tells me, which is, something I think is really unique, especially black men. They said that he was a gymnast. Like, he was also in, he was in gymnastics and stuff like that earlier as well. So, it kind of, the narrative that we typically have as it relates to African-American males, I think he was, working to try to defy that in every way that he could. He had a good relationship with his kids, as I understand, and, it's just a really unfortunate situation.
Usually when you hear stories like this, a lot of people will try to say, okay, this is somebody, they had to do something to cause this situation. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was some kind of disagreement. Somebody did this. No, this was people sitting in the emergency room. A guy in a wheelchair makes it through into the emergency room, shoots innocent people that had nothing to do, from what we know of, with anything. Mm-hmm. And this father, this student, this future businessman is now on life support.
Yeah.
Wow.
And and just having to face his kids, and just obviously we still trying to hold out some hope, but just understanding the realities of this type of injury that he has. When you brain dead and connected to machines, the probability of recovery is limited. It's not many people that make it out of that, and just coming to understand that this is something that he didn't put himself in. Any of us could have been doing it, could have been in this. We could be visiting somebody at the emergency room. We could be seeking medical attention. Mm-hmm. And while you're waiting patiently, sometimes these emergency rooms take a while. This is the middle of the night, and now he, is going to literally, facing life and death, at this point. He's kind of in that situation where it could go either way at this point. There's something that no one should have to face.
Now, there was a press conference today. Do we have any clips from the press conference, Andrew? After the press conference today, what are the next steps?
So, from the family's perspective, today, even this evening, I don't know what his status is going to be medically. It's literally minute by minute at this point. They're going to have to make a difficult decision here, whether it's this afternoon, this evening, tomorrow. They're going to have to make a decision. So that's kind of what the family is kind of faced with right now and trying to grapple with. That's where their focus is. As it relates to what I'm doing at this point is, obviously, I have an investigation ongoing. We are getting ready to initiate communications with the hospital. We are also trying to correspond with the law enforcement as much as we can to try to find out what they know. We do know that there's a criminal prosecution that's going on, so we will closely monitor and track that. And we will take every step and look for every civil remedy possible to try to, make this family as whole as we can. I mean, unfortunately, when I think about justice, justice is him living. Justice is him being there with his family. But when we look at the system that we have, we will try to do everything we can to try to make them as whole as possible, given the circumstance. But so that's where we at with it. We will be aggressive in holding these corporations. That's what I do. And, I will definitely be steadfast in pursuing that.
Well, we got some video from the press conference that you had at 2 p.m. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. Let's listen.
Specifically, so it's just mind-blowing as to how a firearm got in just, hours before, this situation happened.
Have you or the family heard from Aurora at all?
We have not heard anything directly from Aurora.
What are you waiting for legal action or options?
Well, the first thing is we are at the initial stages of our investigation. We intend to, pursue open records to get information on the law enforcement as it relates to the criminal prosecution here. I will tell you that, the most critical aspect of this right now is the dire nature of Christopher's condition.
All right. Here we go, LaMarr. And these things don't resolve overnight.
Nah. The unfortunate thing about, our system as we seek and pursue justice is that a lot of these things take years. So, a lot of times seeking a civil remedy can a lot of times stall as we await the criminal prosecution. Mm-hmm. I got cases here in Milwaukee right now that are now going on 6 years.
Right.
And we still fighting, trying to reach a resolution. So, unfortunately, these things do take time to play out, but it's important work that we do and in an effort to try to ensure that these hospitals, corporations preserve the rights of the underserved.
Well, as you continue your journey with dealing with a lot of the tough issues in the community, I commend you because, this is a part of the advocacy.
No,
Many times people don't understand. It's not a quick fix. This is a battle. These are time-consuming ideas that take maybe years to try to complete.
No, absolutely. And it's important. When we think about, Black life specifically, any life, we got to make sure that we are preserving the integrity of our lives, mm-hmm. whether that be from law enforcement perspective, health care, whatever the situation is. Individuals who violate need to be held accountable, and that's what we intend to do.
Well, also a quick update on the canine situation, because I know that was on the news a while back. The family got some kind of relief from the dog being biting on the girl's ankle at the mall. That was a wild situation. They love to call you for these situations.
So you're trying to get me in trouble?
No, I'm not trying to get you. I'm not trying to get you in no trouble.
We did get it resolved.
Okay, I'm just saying we
got it resolved, and everything is confidential.
Okay, well, we ain't gonna. That's enough said. Enough said. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're gonna have more conversation. We got attorney B. Ivy LaMarr in studio. Stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It starts with a spark. At Milwaukee College Prep, they nurture that spark from age 3 through 8th grade, building scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of their students face economic hardship, but that does not define them. At MCP, they see students' potential, and they help them live up to that potential. 4 campuses, 1 mission. College and beyond, MCP is free, high-performing, and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
The worst kind of whites, not that I'm picking on white folks, but you know how it goes, is the ones that think that they will lose something if this country becomes more fair and equal. I'm going to say that again. The worst kind of white people are the ones that think that if a black person gets a job and gets an opportunity, and they ignore how hard the black person had to work and the racism, the bigotry, and the discrimination, and just how people turn their noses up at smart black people. They hate us. And the black person works really hard and overcomes maybe generational curses of poor health and poverty and all of those things. And we got to deal with the police and the criminal justice system that doesn't often have our backs. And then the black person gets a job, gets an opportunity, and a white person sees that and thinks that they lost. Those are the worst kind.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon. Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do the wiggles. The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
You're just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Daily Provisions is pioneering a fresh segment in the restaurant space, fine casual dining. It has a chef-driven elevated menu, but without the dress code or prices normally associated with fine dining. Chip Wade is CEO of the restaurant's parent company, Union Square Hospitality Group, and spoke to Bloomberg about his plans to grow Daily Provisions.
We're very excited about Daily Provisions. 12 cafes today. We'll open 3 this year, including 2 in Boston, and we're going to build out in the D.C. market. We're growing at a modest pace, and we're growing where it makes sense from a human resources, from a tech, and from an operations perspective.
Chip Wade on Bloomberg. He's one of the few black CEOs working in the high-end restaurant industry. His company also operates Gramercy Tavern, Union Square Cafe, and more. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This sports update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Bucks are trying to recover from their back-to-back losses earlier this week. The Atlanta Hawks are in town as the Bucks need a win to get back into rhythm. Doc, after the loss on Monday.
And we've kind of lost our way, and I think it's on both ends. I think offensively we had a great rhythm, and we've done it in spurts in the last 3 games, but we haven't been able to sustain it.
Tip-off is tonight at 8:30. Brewers lost their special matchup against Great Britain 7-3. Their next game is against the Cubs for spring training. In college hoops, it's tournament time for UWM as they begin their Horizon League run against the Detroit Mercy. Last time these two played, Mercy won 91-86. Tip-off is tonight at 6. You can listen to the game right here on 1017 The Truth. The Badgers and Golden Eagles begin their tournaments next week. Badgers host Maryland tonight at 7, while Marquette heads to Providence with tip-off at 6. I'm Nazir Spencer, and this is the True Sports Update on 1017 The Truth.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Slow way. Let's go. Tory Lowe. Mr. 888, every. Mr. 5 points. Get it straight. Advocate Tory Lowe. Let's go. It's the show.
101. 7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Joining me as we broadcast live, advocate author Elizabeth Brown. Elizabeth Brown, we got attorney B. Ivy LaMarr in studio. Just did a press conference outside Mount Sinai. There was a shooting in the emergency room, and the family called on attorney B. Ivy LaMarr because they need answers right now, Elizabeth.
Well, they definitely call the right man. Salute, B. Ivory. Glad to see you still on the front lines handling Milwaukee's business, because you definitely do your thing. So salute to you again for being who you are and always standing in the gap and always taking the calls that come from the city that raised you. It is an honor to know you and to stand beside you on this fight that we continue to do in our community. So salute to you.
Also, Elizabeth Brown, I wanted to add in this to the conversation. I want to go over to Los Angeles where they said members of a Baptist church, they're calling for a dismissal of a pastor that pushed one of the elders, senior members, through the front door and broke a wrist, the pastor, out in L.A. Andrew, get that footage back up. What's going on? I mean, I'm just saying, you know it's a lot going on. I wanted to get your opinion on that one, too, as well. LaMarr, can you sue the church?
Hey, man, hey.
Can you sue the church for pushing the member through the front, front of the door?
And they can get it too, man. You know.
Oh wow.
Unfortunately, man. It's, hey, we gonna take care of it civilly. Then we gonna pray for the pastor afterwards.
Come on.
That's why.
Absolutely.
But I saw that video. Did you see this video? Did you see the video?
I ain't seen it. And salute, Queen. He had my mic off, man. So no, appreciate you, Liz, and it's always love working with you.
Elizabeth, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, because we working. I guess Andrew working a lot. He working the back screens back there. So, but like I said,
salute.
It's once again, so much going on in our communities. What do we do moving forward in 2026? How do we move about some of the obstacles that we're facing with situations like what went on at Sinai, conflicts that been going on during the week where we seen this employee had to shoot and defend himself at Taco Bell in Muskego. His brother hit me up while I was on the air saying that they only charged him for not having a concealed carry because they were trying to attack him at the fast food restaurant. Elizabeth?
Hey. King, you know what? When we just came off a blood moon, and if you biblically look at what's taking place, again, it's the warning before destruction. You got a lot of people, again, losing their battle with sanity at this point. It's a lot of pressure being applied all the way across the board. Again, we're in a community that already is dealing with, pre the pandemic, but even prior to that, the suffering that we endure. A lot of us, again, like I said, when we're walking pots boiling over, PTSD, massively lead poisoned. Again, when we put all of these things together, this is what you get. And at the same time, what we can't do is be so caught up on what's taking place outside around us. What we have to do is make sure that we're doing everything that we need to do in our daily lives to try, again, what we've been doing since the beginning of time to prevent it coming to our doorstep. How do that happen? You get out in the street and you work from there to your doorstep, to try to avoid these things. And again, in reality, you always have to have that ace in the hole, which is a hell of an attorney like B. Ivy LaMarr, because like he stated, everybody can get it. And the reality of it is sometimes you got to hit them where it's hurt. And usually it's in somebody's pocket. But outside of the injuries that's taking place, the lives that's being taken, we also got to understand that there is no completely stopping crime, violence. Again, this is America. Is it going to happen? Absolutely. But you have to ask yourself, what can you do to try to work ahead or be preventive so it don't hit your doorstep, like I stated. So, King, I mean, again, with this pastor, it just goes to show, we've been saying it for a long time. They're only humans, and the reality of that is mere men allow their emotions to get the best of them, and we have to question him and his ability to know the word that he preaching.
Hey.
That you done broke a woman's wrist. That's DV.
They might give you a call, LaMarr. I don't know if you can practice. You practicing in Los Angeles. You be everywhere, but I don't know. I mean,
man,
they might call me and say they need some help.
I mean, they call, we work it out.
I would advise.
So where is this? Where are we going with the civil rights fight in 2026? I wanted to ask you that since we got you in the studio. Where are we going with this as we continue to stand on the front lines?
Well, as I think about where we at with the civil rights as we go into 2026, it kind of brings me back to making a comparison to where we were in 2020, which was probably one of the most vocal years that I actually seen the community in. And it begs the question as to what will we accept? And if we continue to allow the status quo, whether under, Trump's reign here these next couple years and a lot of what we're seeing, if we just kind of, stay silent, then we're going to just keep seeing a repeat of the same thing that we are each day. So I think we need to be more vocal. I thought it was a beautiful thing when we seen how engaged the community was back in 2020. In the midst of, as Queen called the pandemic, we seen us all come together, and that's something that I thought was beautiful, but we just can't forget that. We have to serve as a check and balance. And if we tend to accept these things by being silent, how can we complain? And that's kind of how I look at it, so, and it's like that until it hits home, so when I see these families, when I'm, seeing these grieving mothers and family after something happens, they want answers, but we got to be there for each other too. We got to understand. So like when I look at this situation, when, just today, I look at every single client as if it's my own, and I kind of place one of my own family members in that position and how would I feel in that situation and what would I want to see done. And that's what I try to implement, through my representation. But we as a community got to be the same way for each other. It's not like, oh, man, that's messed up, man, I'm going to pray for you. Nah, you need to be on the front line, too, being right aside them. And that's something that, again, I've seen, yourself, Tori, Liz do. We were just talking about one of the that KinderCare case with the 11-month-old baby got the cocaine.
With the cocaine in the system.
Yeah, so, and I was kind of mentioning, we getting ready to have some movement as it relates to that. But I recall, you, Tori, and Liz, out there protesting when it might have only been just a couple of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
It was about 13, 14, yep.
Yeah, so, it's...
Salute the truth, nation.
Yeah, salute the truth, because now the place is shut down. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
And that's only because you weren't silent. That's because the community actually spoke up, and now government has to look at those acts and say, this is something we just can't keep pushing, putting under the rug. And that's how we get change. And it's the same thing. Same thing with Aurora, Mount Sinai. It's not okay for you to allow people into a healthcare facility with firearms.
Right.
We're not going to allow you to say, oh, man, that was just a mishap, put out a nice, pretty press statement, and then hope it goes away. No, it's not going to go away like that. And it's not just about anything monetary. That's the only system we have. But I'm also seeking injunctive relief. What are you going to do? I want to see the plans of how we're going to make sure that this doesn't reoccur. Because that could have been me. I could have been there visiting one of the clients or, supporting a family or anything. So we got to make sure that we serve as a check and balance.
Hey, look. When we come back, Elizabeth Brown, I want to get your final thoughts on the show today. LaMarr, I want to get your final thoughts as well. Ain't no telling when you go all. Ain't no telling when we gonna get you back in studio this year. But look, when we come back, we'll have the final thoughts. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Trying to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If you ain't know, I get the pesos. Got a lot of brothers, some of them play bros. They don't want to say it, but they hate low.
Oh, this credible.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, we got breaking news. We just got breaking news, Elizabeth Brown, from the situation at Sinai. Attorney B.I.V. LaMarr, what do we have here?
So I understand that there's been a statement that has just been released by Aurora Mount Sinai. Tory, you want to read it?
This is from Aurora Mount Sinai Medical Center. The statement: we remain heartbroken by the incident in our emergency department lobby, and our thoughts are with the victims, their loved ones, and everyone affected, including our own. While law enforcement investigates, it's ongoing and limits the details we can share. Our internal review found that the metal detector was working as intended. However, following metal detector screening, a handheld wand screening was not conducted appropriately. This was in violation of our policy and the individuals responsible are no longer with the organization. We have also made additional security and screening enhancements, including deploying a firearm detection K9 unit, enhancing screening procedures, and implementing additional training, as well as increased security personnel presence.
Well, there you have it. And I'll take this moment to say this. You know, I wish the statement would have came out before I even got involved.
Right.
You know, I wish, you know, I'm seeking that corporations, when they make these type of mishaps, come out outright and say, this is what happened, this was in violation, without having to get pressure.
Right.
But that's what we do. And as we just got through talking about checks and balances, we're not going to stand for it. I'm going to get the answer anyway. So what I respect and what I salute is when companies come out outright and say, you know what? Because nobody's perfect. I mean, It's going to be, any company, you know, is going to have issues. But what I respect is when you come out and when you own it. Now I want to see, are you going to do what's right for this family, or do we have to now go in litigation for it? My number is still the same. You know, you call that number anytime. I got staff around 24 hours. Let me see if the hospital reaches out to go ahead and stand by what they saying to try to make it right by this family now. You know, because if not, of course I can go file a lawsuit. But I shouldn't have to. And if you really mean what you say, and if you really want to do business in this community where all of these dollars are coming in, millions and millions of dollars each year from this community, then you stand by it when you make a mistake. You stand by. We shouldn't have to go work and have to go through this whole litigation, putting this family through years of more emotional turmoil going through this process. So that is what I'm seeking at this point, and that is my final thought.
Puff! Elizabeth Brown, let me get your final thoughts on the show today.
Well said, LaMarr. And again, like you stated, the checks and the balances, we the people supposed to do that. Again, there's no better time than the present to stand up, speak out, and be about that action. Again, we say it all the time. We've been saying it for all the years we've been out here doing the work. When we talk to these families, get involved before it's your family. Because the sad reality is a lot of us don't recognize what everybody else is going through until we going through it. We've had several individuals who say, you know, ain't nobody coming out for my family. The question is, did you come out for somebody else's? So when we start to take accountability for ourselves and what it is that we're doing, because you should never be too busy to stand on the righteous side of justice, you know, of getting justice, because in our community, we know it's you today and it's me tomorrow. The reality is our community, again, as a whole, especially the Black inner city of Milwaukee, they don't give a damn about us. And it's our time to start to give a damn about us. And when we start to give a damn, like LaMarr said, when we start to care about each other, we no longer stand by and allow corporations, big slumlords and cricket politicians to, again, continue to misuse and abuse and toss us to the side, or continue to allow them to sacrifice us as if, you know, we today's discarded trash. Because the reality of it is the issues that we have in our community that's by design is $1 billion production, if not trillions. The reality of it is this is a failure, no matter what that looks like. And like he stated, what we state all the time with every family we done stood with, we shouldn't have to fight you when you know you dead wrong. You know, we shouldn't have to go through the processes and procedures of putting this family that's already been violated through more violations. Again, when we talk about triggering trauma, here we go. I shouldn't have to force you to be right inside a community that you claim you here for the betterment of. And when we start to stand 10 toes down on that in totality, then our community starts to get better. And like I said, that begins with not us just directing it to the world, but making sure that we holding individuals in our community and surroundings accountable. Because one thing for sure and two for certain, they get money. We just not getting what it is that we paying for. We leave with buyer's remorse every time. So with that being said, again, King, salute B.I.B. LaMarr, because again, like I stated, for a long time, there was no real attorneys that we could turn to, because a lot of the attorneys that's in the city of Milwaukee is in the bed with what we call the good old boy club. They want to eat at the country clubs and do everything else, and they out to prey on our community because they know that we're $1 trillion. They can get big money. We've been stepped on a long time, but thank you for being who you are, and always leaving your door open and keeping your bat phone for those of us at home, so you can continue to get the results that you've been getting for those of us who have felt forgotten. So salute to you. Thank you for everything you do. And again, whenever you need me, you already know, just like Gruber Law Offices, we your one call and that's all. And with that being said, King, I'm here for it.
Hey, look, powerful discussion, where we can talk about things live on the air where it's happening in real time. Salute to our native brother, B.I.B. LaMarr, born and raised right here in the city of Milwaukee, from the state of Wisconsin, and he's doing great work here. And like I said, this is why I say this is 2026. This is time to repair the village. It's time to repair the village. It's time to bring your talents, bring your gifts back to the village, and let's repair the holes in our village so we don't continue to get preyed on. What you say, Liz? P-R-E-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. And this is where we have to make sure that we continue to make these changes, not only just in our communities with the people, but in the economics. And when we talk about education and neighborhood development, we got to get what we need for our community. And many times our energies are distracted and given to everything else, and they get what they want in their communities, and we're left coming back to our communities and we hitting potholes. You know what I mean? We can't get the potholes up off the ground, So it's time to put our energy right here. And like I said, 2026, it's time to mind your own black business.
Come on. Couldn't have said it better.
Hey. Well, look. Hey, and LaMarr, what if somebody, got some issues? How do they reach out to you?
Look, you can always reach out to me, www.bivylamar.com. Instagram, Facebook, @bivylamar. Phone number, 877-GET-PAID. If you feel like you got a civil matter. So I'm always accessible. Obviously I'm in the community. You can always reach out to anyone. Pretty easy to get in contact with. So, I can't promise I can take everything. It's only it's only so much we can do.
It's only so much you can do.
But we definitely, if I can't help, I'll definitely try to refer you and put you in the hands of somebody that I think that can definitely assist you. So,
powerful.
That's what we do.
Hey, look. All right. Hey, that's a powerful. Hey, I'm ready to get up out of here. I'm ready to go and relax. I got to, so much going on that it's good to be around the brothers and sisters on the front lines that's willing to sacrifice and do the real work. It's just refreshing that we have an attorney, we have a queen, and we have Truth Nation that's really out here putting in that sweat equity to make a change.
And they say we all do a little, nobody got to do a lot.
Hey,
so
everybody do their part. We ain't got to start over. We ain't got to keep starting over every time.
That part.
All right, Queen. I appreciate you for coming in.
Salute.
As usual.
One love.
Salute, Queen.
Appreciate you for being on the front lines. All right, Attorney B.I.B. LaMarr.
All right.
Thank you for stopping through.
Truth Nation, man, I appreciate y'all. Salute, 100.
All right, look, salute to everybody in the chat, another powerful chat, and salute to everybody that joined the conversation today. Hey, look, when we start from the inside and build, the outside gets better. We tried to go outside and the inside is still damaged. We got to change how we moving so we can get some real results. Hey, look, we here for it. Hey, look, 2026, it's time to what? Repair the village. Keep your head on the swivel. Green don't always mean go, and look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you, Dr. Ken Harris. Up next.